I've coached over 1,000 women in dating and relationships, and today I'm going to give you the top 10 things I've learned from coaching women and what you can do to succeed in dating as a woman in today's modern dating landscape. If you guys don't know me, my name is Sumi. I talk a lot about dating, relationships, lifestyle, business, everything under the sun. And if you ever want to stay connected with me on all my videos, hit that bell notification. If you want to message me, talk to me one-on-one, I will respond. Just message me down below on one of the links, most likely on Instagram. I'm really easy to reach there. And let's jump into today's episode where I talk about what I have learned from coaching 1,000 women. A lot of people have not coached as many women as I have, and I really take a lot of pride in that because I spent 2-3 years of my life talking to women every single day, as well as men. I coach both men and women, and I had deep conversations with them in regards to their dating, their lifestyle, their business, their marriage, their divorces, their breakups, everything personal, sometimes in depression, sometimes in just getting things done in their life, sometimes in their fitness, all the above. And I've learned a lot of things from coaching women, and today I'm going to focus more so on relationships and dating because a lot of women in today's dating economy struggle when it comes to finding a good man, a man that they want, a man that makes sense for them. So let's just jump into it. And these are in no particular order. These are not things that are like really, really important to really, really bad, but these are things that I think women do that they just don't really understand. And some of these are mistakes. Most of these are mistakes, I should say, and things that you should avoid as a woman. And these are things that were really eye-opening to me when it came to coaching women. Number one, most women kill their opportunity of being with a good man with the 6-foot, 6-figure income rule. And what that means is all women pretty much are looking for guys over 6 foot. I know there's women out there that are like, I'll date a guy that's under 6 foot, but there are a lot of guys that are under 6 foot that are actually amazing guys. But when they go on dating apps, they select 6 foot and up in the dating requirement. And that's why a lot of women don't get a lot of matches because the percentage of guys that you're going for are like less than 10%. It's not really that common. Then when you add in the income rule, it's significantly smaller. So first thing I want you to understand is that height does not mean that a guy is good. In fact, height means that more women are looking at him and is going to create a larger difficulty to acquire that type of man. If you're a woman that looks good, wonderful. I'm happy for you. There's a lot of good looking women out there. I'm not trying to take anything away from you, but there's a lot of good looking women out there that come in all shapes and sizes. And with today's economy of plastic surgery and makeup and just filler and Botox and everything in between, you can look really good if you were not born genetically gifted. So that's all possible with surgery today and a little bit of money. But with men, being 6 foot is a genetic thing. You can't necessarily get height increasing surgery unless you do it at a very young age and your parents have to be involved in that. So it's just not a thing that guys really get. The 6-figure thing though, here's what I'll say. A lot of men do make more money as they get older. So if your man is not necessarily making 6 figures right now, there is a large possibility as long as he's on the right course and he's in the right trajectory, he could be making that money very soon. So I think a lot of women limit themselves in some belief that they need to date a guy that's over 6 foot and that's the only way they're going to be happy with setting certain standards for themselves that are really just rare. They're not necessarily unrealistic, but they're hard to get. And one thing I'll tell you is, this is not a fact, but dudes over 6 foot, especially the ones over 6'4", 6'5", they're going to cheat on you. They're going to get an abundance of women. I know girls that'll literally just line up to fuck a guy just because he's a certain height. So don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be cheated on. Don't put yourself in a situation where it's going to be difficult to find a guy that makes sense for you because you're trying to get the top 10% of men that really are just going to be out there for everyone. And those men, I'll tell you right now, they're not looking for relationships. They're not out here trying to find women to marry and settle down for. The 6'6" guy is not out here saying, I need to find a wife. He's really not saying that. He wants to have fun. He wants to do what he wants to do because women are plentiful. So please take it as a bit of advice. Avoid this whole mindset of I need a guy over 6 foot. Number two, a lot of women think the first date should be very expensive and very extravagant. It's probably the worst mindset to have because first and foremost, let me be technical with you. Just because a guy spends money on the first date does not mean that he values you to a large degree. A guy could have a lot of money and a $100, $200, $300, $400 date could be nothing to him. It doesn't mean that much. And he's probably happy to do that all the time if a woman's going to give him sex and attention and love, so on and so forth. The other thing is a man will psychologically associate that money, that date, as something that he is owed. And that's also a bad position to put yourself in. You may not think of it that way, but men do. So it's better to just avoid the extravagant first date and keep it condensed to 30, 40 minutes of a coffee date, a smoothie date, just a walk in the park to get to know somebody to see if they make sense for you. If your goal in life is just to eat at nice restaurants, then go ahead and employ the strategy and do whatever you want to do. But it does not really mean that it's going to be a meaningful relationship. In today's transactional society, an expensive first date really sets you up, in my opinion, for failure because it sets a standard that's unrealistic and a lot of guys don't live their life like that. You're not learning an authentic version of them. And you may think it's a lot of effort, but the guy don't even know you. And if he's willing to put in a lot of effort for a girl he doesn't know, he's willing to do something with another girl that he probably doesn't know down the road in the relationship. A lot of guys, in my opinion, that spend a lot of money on the first date are willing to do whatever it is to get female attention, and they're desperate and they're needy And if they're willing to do that for a girl they don't really know, if they get to know you and there's some girl here, they'll do whatever it is to get that girl and to get in her pants as well. So my advice is keep it simple in the beginning. A really good guy will spend money on you and get to know you and invest in you down the line. But keep the first interaction very simple, more so for you. You don't want to waste your time. And I'm gonna tell you something, that date, that nice dinner, it doesn't put money in your pocket. It doesn't give you anything. You're not profiting from it. You're eating a bunch of buttered up food at a restaurant, sitting across from an interrogation style. You can barely hear him. If the conversation sucks, you're a prisoner until the bill arrives or until he goes to the bathroom. And if it is good, it's awkward, it's static, there's no physical contact. The kiss at the end is weird. It's 5 hours of your day. It's a lot of investment that you don't need to be doing until you really like somebody and you really know somebody. Number 3, most women stay in situationships way too long instead of being serious about commitment. A lot of you will get caught up in the potential of what a man can be instead of actually looking at what a man is actually doing and what he wants. Situationships are an all-time high today because women lead with their feelings. They value chemistry of an interaction more than the consistency of what a guy is actually doing. So if you're with the guy for a period of time and he's not trying to put a ring on it and he's not trying to wife you and he's not trying to date you and you want that in your life, stop wasting your time. You're not going to be young forever. You're the youngest you are in this very moment. Give it 5-10 years. You're not going to be treated the same way that you are by men in the future. It really does change. So stop being in situationships if they don't make sense for you or if that's not what you want. 4, women confuse attention with intention. Just because a guy's giving you a lot of attention does not mean he's serious about dating you, does not mean that he wants to wife you, and does not mean that he actually really likes you. A lot of guys have a lot of time on their hands and they're just going to give you attention all day. You're my baby. I love you. I miss you. I care about you. You're everything to me, so on and so forth. They can say that because talk is cheap. Talk is theoretically free. So at the end of the day, just because a guy is blowing you up every second of the day and he's doing things for you and he's giving you attention does not mean he actually wants to be with you. And a lot of women don't seem to understand this, but let me flip this around. You know how many girls go on dates with old guys just because they have money? With dudes that they don't even like? With dudes that they're not interested in? Yes, it's the same thing. Women can fake their way through an orgasm, and men can fake their way through a conversation, and they can give you months and months and months, and the moment they get what they want from you, they can drop you. So look at a man for what he's doing in his life, his habits, his consistency, and just because a man is constantly available to you does not mean that he actually likes you or values you or wants to be with you. I know this is probably going to throw you in a loop, but a busy man that gives you time out of his day that's very precious is better than a guy that's constantly available, giving you attention and giving you lovely rose-colored words all day long. Number 5, women think that men are everywhere. They are, technically, I guess, but not the men that you want. So stop looking at the world as, oh, men are everywhere. I got tons of guys around me. Are those the men that you actually want? Are those the men that you're willing to date? If I've got 100 girls messaging me and 99 of them are not the type of girl that I want to be with, then I only got one girl in my head that I'm actually getting interest from. And that's all I would look at. It's the same thing that you should be looking at as well. If you got 1,000 guys messaging you, how many of them would you actually consider dating? And if the answer is 5 or 6, then guess what? You got 5 or 6 guys that are interested in you. And the reality is, like I said before, the interest is cheap. The attention is cheap. So until that guy's in your life, embedded, doing things for you, trying to plan things out for you, trying to be involved and guide you and mold you, that's what you really have to be looking for. Number 6, a lot of women focus on large gestures and gifts and dates to measure how the relationship is going. And I can speak on this in personal experience because one of my exes was like this. She would literally measure the quality of our relationship based off how many dates we went on a month. And this was very strange to me because I'm like, a date does not necessarily mean that I love you more, I love you less. It just means that I'm doing something for you. But she always viewed it as, we're not going on dates. Something must be wrong. We're not going on dates. And that was like the most incorrect thing ever because I did love her when we weren't going on dates. And there were times that I didn't really like her and I was upset with her when we did go on dates. But that's all she cared about. She cared about the looks. She cared about the vanity. And I'm telling you, the large gestures, once again, don't mean that a man really likes you. So you might be asking me, like, what does it mean if a man really likes you? I'm gonna tell you, the more controlling a man is, the more he's trying to teach you everything about life, the more he's trying to put you on a game, that's really a good measure of if a guy likes you or not. Because when a guy really fucks with you, he's trying to get you to learn everything that he has learned, that he has been mentored on, that he has been coached on, and he's trying to pour all his wisdom into you because he wants you to be his other half. He's trying to teach you everything about him and his life and his values and everything that he's learned so that you can better yourself and you can be a team together. A man that loves you will invest in you not only financially, but also more so mentally in guiding you, and he'll probably be a little controlling. He probably will hold you to an extreme standard that you might find crazy, but that's how a man really loves you. A man that really loves you and wants you will not necessarily treat you like a princess. He'll treat you like his highest possession, something that he really cares about, and he's going to be very strict on you. And a lot of people take that in a wrong way, but men that really fuck with you are gonna try to control you. They're gonna try to regulate you, and they're gonna constantly try to teach you. You might look at that as a man trying to humble you, but that's how a man really loves you. Number 7, spending money on a guy is actually the best thing that you can do to get him to like you. And I'm not saying that you should be doing too much. Don't overextend yourself, but men love women that invest in them. And this doesn't mean that you have to pay his rent. If you get him a coffee, if you buy him a plate of food, if you book him a massage, if you book him a facial, if you do small things for him, it literally is stuff that a man can't get out of his mind. Because you know what? Majority of women aren't going to spend shit on a guy. Men go in a relationship and they understand that it's a luxury. I got to spend money. But when a man meets a woman that's going to reciprocate his investment into her backwards, yo, it's a game changer. One of my best friends that's a multi-millionaire started talking to this girl just because she brought him a coffee on the first date when they were going on a walk in the park. And it was mind-blowing to me because he was like, yeah, no other girl has ever done that. No other girl has ever brought me something on the first date. And one of the last relationships I was in, the first date that we went on, she brought me food when we went on a walk in the park. And that changed my mindset on her. I'm like, wow, immediately as I meet this person, she's already giving me something from her own kitchen that she made herself. When you give to a man, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's a gesture, because men don't get shit in this world unless they work for it. Men never get anything like that. But when a woman is able to give him something, it's like a complete backwards philosophy. He's like, yo, you are so different. You are so unique. I can't lose this one. I can't fuck this up. Another example, I had a roommate of mine, good friend of mine. The girl that he was talking to was constantly giving him things. And what took him so long to leave that toxic relationship with her, it was a very toxic relationship, was because she gave him things. She bought things for him. She did nice things. And you might say like, oh, it's not a woman's job to do this. Like, he literally did not leave her, even though she was doing very, very bad things. And it's hard for a guy because he's like, I can never find a woman that would do this for me. Most women, they take. I make more money. They want more things. That's how it is. So the fact that this girl's willing to give to me as I invest into her, mind-blowing. We're not looking for sugar baby treatment. We're not looking for sugar mama treatment, but at the same time, a woman that invests into her man and spends money on her man is a woman that really loves him, because you spend money on things that you like. And women that spend money on makeup and their clothes and their hair and other things and their girlfriends and their drinks, but don't spend money on their man, it's kind of selfish to me. That you would be so arrogant to not spend money on the one person that's giving you money, that's helping you, that's protecting you, that's providing for you. This is a man that is everything that holds your life together. Why would you not spend on him? I remember when Cristiano Ronaldo's wife bought him a Rolls Royce, set a new standard for women all over the world. Remember that. Number 8, they think that the boss babe independent life is good until it actually isn't. Let me tell you something. Talk to the boss babes that are 40, 50 years old. They're not happy unless they got a man in their life. I am telling you, I will bet money on this, okay? A lot of women that go into this boss babe, work hard, hustle culture, it's a government prop. Feminism and getting women to enter the workforce like they do in America, it's never really a thing in other countries, and we doubled our GDP because of it. The US has more women working than ever before, and you might think that's empowering, and it is empowering. I wouldn't be raised in the way I am if my mom didn't have the ability to work. But the reality is, it gets women indoctrinated to a lifestyle where I can work, I don't need a man until you're 50 years old and you're lonely and you have nobody that really wants you because you wasted all the best years of your life, your youth, your sexuality on working and grinding when you could have been securing a good relationship with the man that takes care of everything for you. Why do you need to make money when you can find a man that can do both for you? He can love you and he can provide for you. And you can still choose to work while you're in that relationship. It doesn't have to be, I don't need a man. Get a man in your life and also focus on your career. Get a man in your life that can help you be an even bigger boss babe. This idea that I'm just going to be by myself and I don't need a man to do anything for me, it's so stupid. There's no man out there in the world that says, I don't need women, I can be independent, I'm an independent man. It doesn't happen, because men, we fundamentally understand that we love women, we care about them, we want them, we desire them. Even the men that say, oh, fuck women, women suck, they still want to meet women. Like, they could shut the fuck up, okay? They love women. So at the end of the day, if you want to be a boss babe, if you want to be independent, don't neglect your dating life. Number 9, some women will never approach men. They'll say, oh no, I can never approach them. But the problem is, you are restricting yourself to the men that approach you. So if losers and weirdos and guys that are not necessarily great are constantly approaching you, that's all you have to choose from. And newsflash, the guys that have shit going on, the guys that are confident, that have game, they're more likely to attract women to them. And they're going to go for the girls that give them high level interest and high level attention. Even me to this day, people ask me, oh, do I talk to a lot lot of women, I don't really approach a lot of women. I let the ones that really like me approach me and talk to me because that's just how I am. Because I don't need to go out of my way to talk to somebody because I already have a lot of interest coming in. And I'm not even the best guy out there. I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'm an average guy in my own book. So what I'm saying here is women that talk to men have a significantly higher chance of being with that man, because if a man is getting interest from a woman, he's already like, whoa, the first part is done. That's the hard part. That's the annoying part. So if you see a guy that you like, that you're interested in, go and talk to him. Have a conversation with him. It doesn't have to be so hard. And last but not least, a lot of women let social media set their standards for what dating should be. They take a lot of advice from these very toxic people on social media. And what I see on social media is this extreme end of female advice and this extreme end of male advice, where men are like, fuck women, they suck, they're only in it for the money, and women are like, only use men for money, be transactional, so on and so forth. This whole mindset of this or that, it doesn't work. You need to stop taking advice and judging your lifestyle based off social media, because social media is going to show you the Bugattis, the Paganis, the Koenigseggs, the mansions, the yachts, the jets. And if your man does not have that, who gives a fuck? It's not real. It's not realistic. But at the end of the day, this idea that social media is real life is very, very fake. I know social media makes a big impact in your real world experience, but at the end of the day, it's not what life really is. It's not what an intimate relationship is. It's not about being happy and getting flowers and roses and taking out on expensive dates. That's not life, okay? So social media is not reality. A lot of women base their relationship on social media and they compare with other women. So these are 10 things that I've learned from coaching over 1,000 women. These are just 10 general things that I've learned of things to do and to not do. I hope this video was helpful. If you ever want to work with me one-on-one in coaching to help you find your dream partner or your dream relationship, definitely message me on Instagram below. But until next time, guys, Sumi out.